Yeah, it's too bad that the company though is a piece of crap.
Don't support that fucking company. Just saying. You don't have to support Blizzard.
You can still play these games, but you don't have to buy them. Wink, wink.
You don't necessarily have to support Blizzard in order to enjoy Diablo, is what we're saying.
Yeah, don't support Bobby Kotick.
Fuck Bobby Kotick. Not physically, though.
Oh, also though, support the strikers. I wonder how that's going actually.
Let's find out.
Hell yeah, man! Workers of the world unite everywhere around the world. Come together.
We like us some unions and we like us some video games here on Ministry Modus.
Hell yeah, and people who rail against unions. I hope you like working 16 hours a day for $3 an hour. We can go back to that if you like. Get rid of unions.
Let's see the most recent. God, it's the most recent news. Seriously, only 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. What the fuck? All right. This is from Workers World, everybody.
Yeah. Well, link it up, man. Come on.
Mundo Obrero, Workers World. This is old-fashioned commie journalism, baby. Like, okay. So, Workers World. ABK Workers, ABK being Activision Blizzard Workers Alliance, strikes versus Activision Blizzard. Since late July, this is by Danny O'Brien from 2 weeks ago. Since late July, there has been an active class struggle between workers and corporate bosses at the video game company Activision Blizzard, culminating in 3 strikes, the third ongoing and powerful efforts to unionize.
Yeah.
ABK worker. Oh, it's a picture of ABK workers blocking the entrance to Activision Blizzard. Hell yeah, back in November 16th. On July 20th, a lawsuit was filed against Activision Blizzard by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, exposing a distinct and pervasive frat boy culture, unequal pay structures, rampant sexual harassment, and negligence on part of, quote, human resources, unquote, to take reports seriously. The company responded by gaslighting the claims as distorted and false, and workers retaliated with a work stoppage against the negation and abuse.
Yes.
So CEO Bobby Kotick made a performative apology for the response and promised an internal review of the company's policies to be done by infamous anti-union law firm Wilmer Hale. The workers refuted this choice, stating a conflict of interest between the company execs and law firm from previous cases. They disagreed with the choice further on grounds that Wilmer Hale had a known reputation as a union buster and, as such, is not impartial when it comes to securing and ensuring the rights of workers. So, in response, this is a section called the Raven Software layoffs. So, in response to the December 3rd layoffs of 12 contractors at Raven Software, a game studio owned by Activision Blizzard, employees initiated a work stoppage. Unified at the moment as the ABK Workers Alliance, they responded to the sudden layoffs on Twitter, stating, "This has not only destroyed the morale of our workforce, but obliterated trust in the company that has been routinely asking us for patience in improving our work lives. We will not back down from this fight for equity. Raven QA." Raven QA, your contributions to our studios and the industry were incredible, and you deserve much better. I guess QA being the quality assurance folks?
I'm not sure.
Let's see. The stoppage is still ongoing and gained mainstream media coverage on its fifth day, when the workers were asked by the Communication Workers of America to sign union authorization cards. That's how you do it, baby. The company responded fearfully to this first step in the establishment of a union by sending out a mass email groveling to the workers, strongly suggesting they refuse to unionize and quietly accept their oppression.
Hey, real quick though, man. I didn't know this before I started learning about unions, but union busting is big business. Like, there are companies whose single purpose is to bust unions.
Yeah, that's how the Pinkertons got their start. Hell, the Pinkertons are still a fucking active company today.
No, I'm not even talking about like the Pinkertons in respect to like force. I'm talking about like in respect to companies that have PR firms and companies that have these videos, anti-union videos, and companies that have these anti-union big business, man. And I did not know that. And for example, like these companies who fear that their workplaces will become unionized, they hire these companies. And I'm thinking, well, if you would just pay the work, what?
Yeah. Like, man, why are you creating the conditions for people wanting to create a union to begin with, for one, instead of spending all these resources to crush union, like attempts at unionization, when your whole purpose of attempting to stop workers from unionizing is so they don't do things like bargain for more wages and cost you more money? Like, are you really accomplishing anything at that point?
And one thing too that really, if anybody out there is like wondering, hey, why is this like, so what's up with Blizzard and Activision, whatever? Bobby Kotick, right, the CEO of Activision Blizzard, this guy, I tell you, this guy is just a fucking jerk. You look at the history of it, and one thing that really turned me on to them is Jim Sterling, his YouTube channel, the Jimquisition. He has a video, I should say they, to be respectful to Jim Sterling. They have a video called Bobby Kotick is an Abusive Monster, and I've been playing World of Warcraft since 2004, off and on, and I didn't know anything about Blizzard, Activision, Blizzard, Bobby Kotick. I didn't know anything about that company.
Yeah.
And that really, and hearing about this and the strikes, that really opened my eyes, and I was just, again, I was left speechless. Like, the more I learn, the more I'm left with that wow feeling that just leaves you speechless.
Yeah,
and
isn't he
horrible?
Isn't he a fucking billionaire?
Well, let's look it up.
Well, let me see.
Because I do not know, and I don't want to say anything misinforming on here.
One source says he's worth 600 million. Another one says 7 billion. Let me just say net worth. Fuck it. Let's do some digging. Another source says 8 billion. 2020 with earnings of $154 million.
Oh my god.
The billion is probably coming from assets he owns and shit like that.
Yeah, so it's probably not liquid.
But yeah, that's Bobby Kotick. Whew.
Yeah, and I urge everybody to check that video out too if you're like, well, who? Because Jim can do a lot better. They can do a lot better explaining all that than I can right now.
Thank God for them.
Yes.
As they conclude every episode with. Also a pro wrestler. Well, not a pro wrestler, but, does wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to get there. That's going to be our main topic for today.
Oh, yeah. You've been wanting to get something off your chest for quite a while.
Well, before we do that, let's finish this article up here. And you might be wondering, so what happened here? So let's go here. So since the sexual harassment and gender discrimination cases started against Activision Blizzard in the summer, workers have held 2 other strikes. So in mid-November, employees at Irvine, California branch held that the location held a strike calling for the resignation of Kotick and a worker audit of the company. The earliest strike on this timeline was in response to the company's initial response to the lawsuit starting at the very end of July. Continuing this too, this is from the article, the capitalists are deploying their time-honored methods of denial, quote, strong suggestions, unquote, in the hiring of union-busting lawyers. Wow, Charles Houston was so right. A lawyer is either a social engineer or a parasite.
They're playing parasite.
And in that, nothing is too remarkable about this case. But the tenacity of the workers against the company across a long timeline with multiple strikes gaining media attention is remarkable. So yeah, that kind of sums up that article very well, too.
Thank you, Workers' World. So